All right, I'll just kind of go on with my story. May 29th, 3 Gaston County officers show up at the house. They tell me they got that fugitive warrant on me. Like, what? You know what I mean? I've been recovering from a fall that I had in June of last year. I'm missing a fibula in my left leg. I've got some problems with my femur, my back. Just falling apart in general. Was in the roofing business. I went up there and looked at it, inspected them, 2, 3, 4 story, whatever. Climbed ladders. You know, these cops are all just think they're just above everything, and they're all that, and just they have like just they put their lives on the line, and you know what they do. I've got to say, I'm not an anti-cop guy. They deal with drunk drivers. They help people that are in car accidents. They see some awful stuff. I mean, there are some bad people in the world. But roofing's also important. Do you know what I mean? We're third on the list. They're not even in the top 100 of the most dangerous jobs. So I don't think everybody should just be kissing their butts and just dealing with them like they're just above everybody else, because they're not. They really aren't. So I've spent a week in jail. Held on a bond. They could have held me 21 days for an extradition. Even if you're not guilty, they can just hold you on a charge. I knew what it was about. I knew the customer's name. It's not even on the warrant. I knew the customer's name, and I wrote it all down in jail. And jail's a whole nother story. But I called Greenville the day I got out of jail on a Monday, which was the 9th, I think. Let me check. So I got it all logged in here. Just so much information. So it was on the 6th. I was released on May 6th. Spent my birthday in jail. I started calling this guy. J.T. Martin. Didn't know his name. Left voicemail. Tried to call somebody else to see what's going on. Really not getting anywhere. They're just telling me I have to come turn myself in and blah, blah, blah. I just spent a week in jail on this stuff. So I finally, but the next day, the Monday the 6th or the 7th, I talked to Sergeant Jarvis, who was his boss, who was J.T. Martin's supervisor. It's what I asked for. Spoke to him on the phone. I got a recording of it. I'm going to play that for you now. This is Jarvis, the Jarhead. How about that? He is an idiot, too.
Would you guys, would you arrest them if you...
Yeah, I mean, if it's determined that they intentionally filed a false police report, obviously we would definitely arrest them. I mean,
okay, then that's what... It just seems kind of weird that, you know what I mean? Like, I've gone through a lot of trouble over some idiot just trying to extort money out of me or something, or trying to get out of $1,000 and make me commit a crime. And I got an email on it. I sent emails to him. I sent texts to him. I've got...
All right, so basically I'm asking him if you find out that these guys are a bunch of lying criminal scumbags, we're going to arrest them. He's like, yeah, we'll do that. This is the first part of that conversation. This is what he says about what Martin should do. The first day I call, he's like, listen to what he says.
On that job. And would you like to see the invoices that were done on that job? And yes, I didn't do the roof, but I didn't just take $4,200 and do nothing. Right. You know what I mean? I did. Yeah, and I'm sure you would be glad to look at that stuff.
So I'm sure he'd be glad to look at that stuff. All right? Jarvis was nothing but a professional from the beginning. He was pleasant. Talked to him the next day. The following week on Monday, when I finally got a hold of this moron Martin, he's like, he hadn't called you back yet? He seemed all surprised. Jarvis is the one that gave me the emails. TIMartin@greenvillecounty.org or tmartin@greenvillecounty.org. I got his email, mjarvis@greenvillecounty.org. And I started shooting them emails, copies of the canceled checks with the thumbprints on them, copies of the receipt for buying the stain, copies of the just data, all right? Martin doesn't answer me, so I called the solicitor's office, which is where I was told the warrant would be, that they didn't have a copy there. Martin wouldn't call me back, which I find interesting. 171350 states. And there's a lot of debate between Jarvis and I about what it states. So there's no discovery before I'm arrested, or if I'm arrested on a fugitive warrant, there's no discovery process based on what Martin said earlier. Then after I'm arrested, while I'm in a detention center, I can't get copies of it there. So after I'm arrested, he won't give me copies of anything. So I believe they're in direct violation of 171350. I'm going to go ahead and read that to you. I got a whole section here on Martin laws. Let's see here. Laws regarding Detective Martin. perjury, conspiracy, right to be informed. 171350 of the South Carolina Code states, right to be informed of grounds of arrest, consequences of refusal to answer, or a false answer. A person arrested by virtue of process. I would think a fugitive warrant is a virtue of process. Or taken into custody by an officer in this state. So it's two specific meanings there. These buttholes think that they understand intent. Well, they seem to understand the intent of the legislature. Well, I mean, they are professionals in enforcing these laws. You would think they would understand them. No, they deliberately violate them. Has a right to know from the officer who arrests or claims to detain him the true ground on which the arrest is made. It is unlawful for an officer to refuse to answer a question relative to the reason for arrest. Okay? Answer the question untruly. I asked him on the first time I spoke to that guy, did you talk to these people? Did they say that I did not do any work at all? Yeah, I talked to him a bunch of times. I talked to Jared Richardson. I talked to his moronic girlfriend. Jared Richardson has a grudge against me because he can't do what I can do. I tried to train that boy, and I gave him an iPad to use, let him use an iPhone, go out here and sell this stuff like I do. Man, we worked one little hail thing in Inman or somewhere. I think I had like 23 names, and he had one. I mean, this guy was a joke. And what pisses this guy off is that I can work for 2 hours and make more money than he'll make in 2 weeks. Yeah, it pisses him off. All right, so that's who he's asking. And the stripper meth head girlfriend that does bomb hoaxes and stuff and all this bunch of stuff that she's convicted for. This is no joke. She pled guilty. All right? Just a bunch of losing white trash is what they are. Just losers. All the way around. The Bible says, by their fruits ye shall know them. And I think you can understand Tina McGuinn, the homeowner that I dealt with on this, that Jared sold. This idiot sold 2 jobs in 6 weeks. One to an ex-girlfriend that he said was so ugly he didn't want me to see. All right? Didn't just send the guys over there and let them do the roof. Got a video of it. Did the roof, perfect, beautiful, everything's right. Certified master installer, blah, blah, blah. Only 3% of all roofing companies are certified in this country. Well, I was one of them. The other person he sold was the girl he is currently with, or was at the time we did this job. He wrote the contract, called me like 6 times, blah, 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 blah. I go over there and I'm like, yeah, everything he told you is wrong. We're going to start over again. I took a look at like 13 sheets of paper. Man, they bought him a new mailbox. They paid for 2 sides of the house. They fixed this door. They did this. They did this. They did this. And it had all the like little trinkets and those tacky little things they have in their yard or whatever was on there. So we took that amount of money instead of replacing those items and we moved it to put a metal roof on the house, which was an upgrade, a substantial upgrade. And we did all 4 sides of this house. That was what we did. All right, so when we got over there, you don't want to just stain 2 sides, but that's all the insurance company paid for. So we agreed to do all 4 sides. There was rotten wood on this trailer thing, whatever they live in. Just this, I don't know, it's modular or something. But it's, there's Claudia. I'm going to hop off here and we'll do another one. But, yeah, whatever. All right. But we did all 4 sides of this place. These folks agreed to pay another $500 for it on a verbal agreement. I'm not going to run over there and write up another $500. It's not a big deal, okay? But we bought the stain. It's a custom color. It's at Lowe's. You can see it. You can find it. It's on there. There's a credit card receipt. All this work was done. But this butthole Martin gave us an untrue answer. Assigned to a person an untrue reason for the arrest. Neglect on request to exhibit to the person arrested. He hasn't presented me anything, and I've been requesting it every day. Any officer that violates this section is guilty of a felony and upon conviction must be fined in the discretion of the court or in prison not more than 10 years. 10 years! Twice what I was facing on his BS charge. Illegal arrest. Another thing that he did. Let's see what South Carolina has to say on a definition of a victim. Victim means any individual who suffers direct or threatened physical, psychological, financial, and the results of commission or attempted commission of a criminal offense. And as defined in this section, victim also includes an individual any individual, spouse, parent, child, or lawful representative of a victim who is deceased, minor, incompetent, physically or psychologically incapacitated. Victim does not include individuals that are subject to the investigation. Victim does not include any individual, including a spouse, parent, or child, or lawful representative who is acting on behalf of the suspect. Victim does not include any individual imprisoned or engaged in a legal act at the time of the offense. Well, Megan, the meth-making mom, Megan Halstead Balcom, who Detective Martin mentioned in that tape, lives at the house. She's on probation. She was incarcerated in the South Carolina Department of Corrections from March 2012 until October 2012. I've never met this woman. Not to the best of my knowledge, I've never met. I don't hang around with meth trash. But Megan, the meth-making mom, could not have possibly been a witness to anything that I did. I've been in recovery for 10 months. These people were just low-life garbage. Doesn't even have a job. Nothing. Just trashy, trashy people. So I have the ability to go on disability. What do? I start taking classes. I'm a certified federal government contract specialist. That's what I did with my time. I have no interest in disability. Y'all have a good day. Thank you.